Welcome to the dark side of the moon. The three of you have worked on the Artemis station for... Actually, how long have each of you worked on this station? Finn.
I think I like shuttle people back and forth pretty regularly. So I've been like doing rounders.
So you've only been here for a couple weeks, maybe this most recent time?
Probably been here like this most recent time. Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks. But like I'm getting ready to get everybody back there. But I've been doing this back and forth for, I don't know, 8-9 years.
What about Levi?
Levi's been working on Artemis for, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 years, a long time. She's been here just creeping, crawling through all the spaces.
Creeping, crawling. And Chad. How long have you been on this station?
1 week.
Oh,
1 week?
no.
1 week, my first week.
Okay.
Chad's gonna be a liability.
Chad is going to be a liability. So Levi is the veteran of Station Artemis here. All right. So even for those of you who've only been on the Station Artemis for a number of days or a number of weeks, you spent, many months back on Earth preparing and learning the layout, learning your specific task for it. Levi, the layout of this base inside and out. The thing about the Station Artemis is that they realized that the best way to build it was to create a, few mile long, very stretched out station. And it's common amongst people who work on the station to complain about having to hike from end to end and how long it takes. You three had the unfortunate circumstance of finding yourself all the way at the opposite end of the station from the launch pad when everything went dark and they arrived. The last contact you had with any other confirmed living workers on the station was more than 12 hours ago. You're not sure if there are any other survivors out there, but you do know that the last signal you got was that there is a rocket, that there is just enough fuel for one jump home, assuming there is a home to go to. As you guys find yourselves in the... Yeah, let's go back to... Let's do a little... We're going to do a little mirroring of last season. You find yourself in the mess hall of the station. And you guys have holed up here for as long as feels right, but the main lights have just gone out in the last hour, and now the sort of dull red emergency lighting system that's very spaced out has come into effect, and a voice has come over in the last 30 minutes.
Warning. Life support. Critical failure. Life support. Critical failure.
You have to move. You got to move now. But before you do, you find one of the station scientists' sort of lab recorder. And while it's very unlikely that somebody will ever, come back to this station should things end up the worst, you all feel it's sort of necessary to record one final message to history, to your loved ones, to whoever might get this.
Hey, Chad here. Mom, this job sucks. I know you said space would be cool, but it's scary and dark, and the TV stopped working, and I don't know. Chad's scared, Mom. I wanted to watch the Emperor's New Groove. Didn't have it. Anyways, I want to come home and have your food again, your rice and dal. I miss you, Mom. But I'm gonna be cool. I'm the admiral of the ship. These guys look up to me. I'm pretty cool up here. All right, Mom. I'll see you. We're gonna hop on a rocket, and I'll see you soon. Wait, is my mom on this?
Hey, this is, my name's Levi Jakul, and, I know I spent a lot of time, a lot of you All right, so folks who were up here, you might have seen me around, and you probably know me just by looks, and you know that I had a little bit of a reputation for like kind of popping out of nowhere and spooking people, and I know a bunch of you had jokes that I was haunting space station and everything, and I told myself I was fine with just sort of hunkering down and doing my own thing and doing stuff my way. But it was really lonely. And I kind of wish I'd made some more friends. So whoever finds this one, just whatever friends you have, hold on to them. They're more important than you think.
Okay, so listen, everyone around here is getting real down and freaked out and stuff, and I don't know why they're doing that, because quite frankly, Finn Collins is not going to go down on his 68th trip. Not a fucking chance. There's no way that this is how this ends. So I already see the history books being written. Finn Collins, 69, baby. I'm going to get all the way back home. Going to beat the record getting there too. So I don't know why everyone here is getting all glum and shit. It's a little spooky. Not going to lie. Things are a little fucked up. But quite frankly, I've been in worse scrapes before, and I am not worried at all.
You guys have recorded your final messages to the world. You got to make that famous end-to-end trek of Artemis. And you only got limited time to do it. The red emergency lighting sets a bleak sort of air to everything. And there's the occasional sort of part of the emergency system is a cascading sound that moves down the whole space. Beep, 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 beep. You guys are in the mess hall, and you know you gotta move. What do you want to do first?
Hey, Chad here. Levy, Phineas? Fran?
Just Finn. Finn's good.
Yeah, it's just Levi.
Yeah, that's what I said, guys. Chad, Admiral Chad here. Let's
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate you just got here so soon.
Yeah. This is not my fault. I didn't do this.
Oh,
if
we
that's what you're
weren't
saying.
Literally no one is
blaming you.
It's
Okay.
your fault.
Yeah,
No.
no, my mom just sent me here, so it's kind of her
We
fault,
heard.
if
I think
anything.
that's great that she, so
Yeah.
supportive of your career.
Yeah. I needed. She said I needed to get a job, so
Oh.
this
Okay.
is
And she thought admiral of a space
yeah.
station?
Yeah, admiral of the space station. Yeah.
Huh.
So let's what?
Admirable.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
my title.
I didn't hear it at first,
hear
and now
what?
I hear it now.
What did you hear? What'd you hear? Is
What?
there something? Did you guys hear something?
No,
What's-
I mean the beeping
All right,
is just sort of constant.
Wait. All right, let's go to the rocket. I don't want to hear anything.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's just move. I mean, listen, the life support shit happens every now and then. It's like no one needs to be concerned. I
Yeah.
mean, you know this. We've heard the beeps before of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
life support is fucking up.
Yeah,
Like,
it sucks for those
It's-
people on life support.
Well, we're all on.
we're on life support.
We're on life support.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on life support.
It's a space thing.
4 hours of life support remaining.
Wait, that's our life?
That's our life.
life.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
That's not good.
It's not great.
it's
You know
a
what,
30-minute hike
though?
to the other side of this thing, so
Okay.
we're fine.
I've been in worse situations. One time it got down to an hour and a half. It was pretty
Oh,
spooky, but
that's embarrassing
we
for the
worked it
last
out.
admiral.
yeah.
Admiral.
I mean, they were a hero.
Just
But-
then, you guys hear sort of the moon gravity. They haven't, you have a very habitable station, right? But it is still lesser gravity. So, tectonic movements and things like that are very rare on the moon. You maybe get you can sometimes feel like if somebody's driving a rover right past the window. You guys all feel a distant, like rumble move sort of through you that you feel like can only be like a distant explosion somewhere else on the ship. And then the voice comes back on.
Correction. Life support 2 hours remaining.
Levi's gonna run over to the window to sort of smash her face against the glass to see if she can tell where the explosion is coming from.
Why don't you give us our first conflict roll?
So I'm gonna roll all 10 dice.
All 10. So any 6s are a success, any 1s get pulled from the pool.
Is there a 6?
Those look like ones.
Is there a 6? Abigail?
2 6s,
Okay.
1 1.
Okay. Set the 1 aside for now. So that's a success. And I don't have any dice right now. And so a reminder about the way that success and narrative control works in this game. Once I have dice and you have dice, 6s for you are still always a success. If I have more 6s, I gain narrative control. But because you have more 6s and I have no dice, you narrate what the success looks like of you looking out the window.
As Levi's looking out the window, she can see that there are, or she knows with the layout of Artemis that there's multiple halls and paths that you can take to get all the way down to the other end. Because if one of them were to become compromised, we would need like an alternate route. And I think all she can really tell is that the explosion happened about 3/4 of the way down on the opposite side of the station from the window that she is looking at. So she knows. Yeah, so it looks like there's an explosion way far down. We really shouldn't be taking the easterly side of the pathways. It looks like, I don't know which one exactly, but we're gonna want to stick west when we get closer down to where that rocket is.
You know, that's fine. Let's just move. Let's just get it going.
Yeah, I like this. Go. Yeah, good plan. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, Chad here saying let's do it.
You guys move out of the mess hall. There's still enough electricity to sort of power the doors open up for you. You know, the hallways in Artemis are long and narrow and can feel a little claustrophobic at times, and especially in this dim red lighting. And there's a lot of different offshoots. As you guys make your way into the hallway, there are, around different areas, different juncture points, there are different like comm screens. One of the comm screens sort of like statics on as you guys start to walk by it, like a
Hello? Hello?
Mom?
Chet, I don't think your mom's on the show. Hold on, I think I've fixed one of these in the past before. And Levi's gonna kind of go underneath and try to look at the wires to see if it's maybe something on this end of the comms.
Sure, roll for me.
And Finn's just on top, letting you know, like, yeah, better, worse, worse, way worse.
Chad's looking for DVDs.
I hope you make us roll to look for DVDs and end the scene.
That is 2 1s and 1 6.
Okay, set the 1s aside. 1 6 is a success, so you turn this thing on. Why don't you give me the first thing he says when, like, as part of the success, and then we can kind of role play from there.
I think he is like, all crew, please report in if you're still there.
Hello? All crew, please report in. Anybody remaining on Artemis, please report in. We are at the rocket, please.
Hey, we're here. Finn, checking in.
Finn, how are you?
Doing good. We got the Admiral here, and we got
Chad's here.
Yeah.
Chad, the Admiral.
Stylo.
Hello.
Yes,
Good. Yes,
Admiral
good.
Stylo.
I'm glad you're here. And is that Levi? I
We got
see?
Levi. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, you can see us.
Yeah, it's a video monitor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you see like sort of a sort of older man, like honestly towards the end of his tenure for space travel, thick mustache, and he's just like,
Yeah. So we really need to get you guys over to the rocket. We're launching out in an hour. So that we have the planned launch time is in an hour, so we've got plenty of time for the life support. My understanding is there was just an explosion. We're trying to send comms out to so try to gather as many people as you can, and hold on a second.
He steps away from the camera, and when he steps away, the video goes a little static, and then you hear this sort of like subtle noise in the background that's like a just like a mechanical rumble. He comes back and he's like,
Got bad news.
What's wrong, Papa?
We don't have enough fuel to shoot the rocket off. Somebody's got to go. Got to go to the reserves at mile 2. We're too far to go back. Main hallway's a total dead zone.
We got to go through there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can get in there. I got a key card.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. I've got everything like packed up. Hey, Levi, can you fiddle the
that
wire you had on?
the screen's going black, and you see like a creeping blackness over the edges of the video.
Guys, what's going on?
And then you get a flash of like liquid smoke going into his mouth, and the screen goes dark.
I got bad news, friends. That was not the comms. That these things are, at least this one's working perfect.
Yeah, comms fuck up all the time.
Does this happen in space? This doesn't happen in space often, does it? This is normal for space?
Chad, not I. A lot of times
like
I'm
space
just kind of
stuff.
like head down in my own thing, but I haven't really seen stuff
Was
like
that like
this.
the space flu or something?
No,
Listen,
no,
I
Chad.
don't know what. It doesn't matter what that was. Listen, I've flown 68 times back and forth. Right, there's no way I'm stopping at 68. I've seen weird shit. Okay, space does weird shit to people.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that was weird. We're fine. All we got to do, let's pick up the fuel. I already packed it up. I had shit like ready to go. It's already on like a buggy. Okay. So all we got to do is grab it, move it over to the ship.
Yeah, maybe we'll find some snacks on the way too. It'll be cool. Okay. Yeah, chill.
I like where your priorities are at.
We're losing a candle almost.
I saw that.
Would anybody like to do anything else risky?
Think they got some cool DVDs here?
All right, Chad, roll for DVDs.
We are in the mess hall. Maybe we'd have some for
My candle's so close.
fun crew nights.
Oh no.
We're all out of DVDs.
There's no DVD.
As you guys are getting ready to move forward, Chad pulls off and is like, I gotta get my DVDs, and pulls off into a side room. And as soon as Chad like puts in the code and opens it, you just like all of a sudden from the mess hall down, light bulbs start going.
No.
And you hear that.
Admiral.
Is this
And
Chad,
the
we
area
gotta
around
go.
you goes pitch black, and that is going to be the end of that scene. These things are true. The world is dark.
we took off running the other way. And we can hear them crawling on the ceilings.
Levi knows there's at least one stowaway on the space station.
Finn runs faster than the other two, and he gets to the next area first.
In the moment that Finn has alone, he hears within the sound that they've been hearing voices.
We heard a voice screaming for help.
Levi is last to arrive at the next spot.
The explosion cracked a piece of the hull, and there is air that is actively leaking out.
You are able to find like sort of a diagnostic map of part of the station, and you realize that there will be a point where you have to don spacesuits to get through because there's been a full air compromise at part of it. And we are alive. Every time. No DVDs, unfortunately, as the lights begin to go out in this back area of the mess hall and the ship, and that noise followed you. You moved away from one noise and towards one noise that meant hope. Bing, 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 bing. You run, slam open a airlock door. And you find yourself in a sort of lab style setting where they did research on various, core samples from the moon and mostly rock stuff is the kind of science they're doing around here. And you heard that voice, Finn, when you came in, taunting you before the others arrived.
When everyone else gets here, I just turn around and go, okay, when are you like fucking with me or something?
Huh?
I love
There was like some extra, did you guys hear the voice?
I didn't hear nothing,
Chad,
no.
the one that was screaming for help back there.
No, there was
That's
like a whispery, I think the air level is like way less than it's saying. Cause I think I might be hallucinating or something. Cause there's like some weird whispery air shit happening here.
That's a funny joke. Chad loves a good joke.
I'm not joking, man. I'm hearing shit. Like we got to get out of here.
All right, it's all right.
That's the plan.
Yeah. If you're hearing shit, maybe we we could take a sort of a shortcut through the air ducts.
Yeah. What? There's a shortcut. Let's take the short. Chad
I mean,
says
we're gonna have to crawl through kind of one by one, but like I've done it before to get from one part of the ship to the other if I wasn't really feeling that social.
Extremely sad to hear,
That-
but yeah, we can.
yeah.
Let's do
Oh.
that.
That made me sad.
It just sometimes people like I can be quiet sometimes, and if I pop out of nowhere, and sometimes people I don't know like do you think I'm scary looking?
No, Lewis,
No,
you look
just-
great.
You kind of sneak about. Levi,
Levi. What did I say?
not Levi.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I didn't hear it. Yeah. And then she just sort of like drifts out into her own head and freezes for a minute.
So those air ducts,
You can take us to the air ducts.
Levi?
Levi.
Levi?
Huh?
The air ducts. Air ducts.
Oh, you're right there.
Oh, okay.
all right.
You want a hand up?
Well, why don't you, since you're leading us, why don't you go up first?
Oh, okay. Levi's gonna try to climb up onto someone's shoulders and open up a.
Chad's just gonna pick Levi up and
All right. Levi, why don't you roll for that? And I get to roll.
kick his ass.
No sixes over here.
Oh no. Oh no.
2 1s, 1 6.
Maybe,
Okay, great.
Maybe you want to.
Yeah, and
Bird.
a reminder, even if you succeed, you can use a trait to re-roll the ones if you'd like to like hold on to those ones. It's up to you.
That candle's looking low, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna burn my vice, which is unobservant.
Oh, okay.
And I think the way it, or do I burn it first? Do I reroll first?
I believe burn it first and then re-roll.
These note cards burn real slow.
It's okay. Once it gets going, you can drop it in the can. It'll take it the rest of the way.
Bustello.
Bustelo. There we
Oh my
go.
God, I forgot how satisfying it is to have open flames in an apartment.
What does Levi not notice in this space as you're successfully able to lift yourself up?
Levi does not notice that when you get into the air ducts, whatever voices or noises have been going on seem to be echoing a little bit louder.
Very good. You poke your.
I re-roll these or
Oh yeah, re-roll them. The whole thing. The whole thing of the thing.
The whole shebang?
No. Sorry, I was just saying that's the whole thing of using the trait. Just those two though.
It was a 5 and a 3.
Okay, so you saved those dice. Great. So yeah, go ahead and tell us what you see when you pop up into the vents.
Levi pops up into the vent and doesn't recognize. She's just sort of in her own head and trying to remember exactly what route to take to get from this spot to where the fuel is stored, and spacesuits and like just a lot of gear and stuff. She's gonna pop her head up in there and call back down of, it's extra dark up here in the vents. Does anybody have anything to maybe make it a little lighter? Like we might go faster, but it is darker.
I'm fine with the dark. Let's just get this done.
Just got my phone, wallet,
Phone, wallet, keys.
condoms.
Oh,
All right.
Phone, wallet, condoms.
Yeah. I didn't know. I thought space sex sounded cool, and I've had none of it.
I mean, listen, it is cool.
It-
You're not wrong.
oh,
Oh,
is it different?
what does it feel like?
Just the gravity thing. You just can do different moves.
Oh, I love different moves.
Okay.
It's mostly show moves.
Does Chad have moves?
Chad just does doggy style.
Okay.
Chad's doggy guy.
All right, we can.
Yeah.
I actually wish I hadn't asked.
I can show you. This is my stance.
Oh, I'm the voice of God. You don't need to show
this
anyone.
is my stance. God, you can look at this.
Okay, I'm gonna. It's
this
this
good for you,
way.
God?
And Levi's just gonna start army crawling her way through these. She's done this so many times. She's got like a whole boogie rhythm going. She's leaving you guys in the dust if you don't hop up here.
Chad jumps up and starts following.
So, Finn, you're the last one.
Yeah.
Before you leave the lab, and it's pretty dark in here except for the red lighting, you just like hear kind of a distant, you're not sure what it is at first, but you think it might be like a breathing, like sort of a labored breathing, like a... Do you just go in the vent, or do you do something else?
Finn hears that from behind him and like kind of registers it and actively doesn't look back and just like forces going forward, like feels the back of it, the hairs on the back of his neck kind of stand up and just jumps up, grabs onto the ducts, pulls himself up, and very difficultly resists the urge to look behind him.
Would you like to roll to resist that urge, potentially?
Yeah, I'll roll to resist the urge.
We'll say if you're successful, you can describe how you resist it.
We got 1 1 and 2 6s. So yeah, I actively don't turn around. I feel it behind me, and as I'm like kind of crawling behind you, I hear the echoes in the air duct, and I just actively kind of like you hear Finn behind you kind of like labored breathing himself, but doing it on purpose as if to like try to simulate what he heard behind him. So it's just going and kind of like hearing the echo of the place and just trying to convince himself that that's what he heard.
As you scramble up, you're like trying to force yourself to hear your own labored breathing, and as your foot crawls in, you just hear a last like, and then you're in and you're following your friends.
My God.
I think despite anything, I have that last minute like Jesus type thing and just pull that last little bit of me out of the room and into the thing.
Great. You guys are in this duct. Finn's joined you. The ducts do not have their own lighting system, except maybe like every 500 feet for like maintenance. But the light are very few, and in an emergency situation, they're very dim. So you're kind of swimming blind in here.
I think to help guide that Levi has done this a bunch. So she knows the route decently well, but anytime she comes to a point that she is not entirely sure, she has a soldering gun on her. And so uses it on just like a little corner to get a couple sparks to orient herself.
Wild.
To then keep going through.
Okay, great.
And she's gonna, every time she does it, sort of turn back and be like, hot on your upper left, watch out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you really use these things all the time?
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's just the easiest way to get from one engineering situation to the next, and like
So-
repairs and stuff.
So let's be clear, that's not true.
Yeah, I feel like that can't be right.
It just, it was I started exploring them like maybe 2 years ago or so. It felt easier than I'd walk around and I have like a really light footstep, and I'm pretty pale, and it's I think some people, I don't know, I seem to freak people out a little bit.
You sneak about a little bit, yeah. But being in the surely you didn't think the way to get around that was to go into the air ducts.
Yeah.
You know, no one ever I wondered if someone would complain about banging or anything, but I guess I'm even quieter up here because no one really ever seemed to comment on it.
I mean, Chad thought there was just a raccoon in the ceiling. Had one in my bedroom when I was growing up.
You no, just don't.
Thought it was space raccoon.
I don't
No,
think
no,
we
no, no,
have
don't.
a
Space.
raccoon. No.
Just pesky space
Okay.
raccoon. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
they eat the garbage and get into stuff.
Chad, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What was your mom's job?
She was president
Of
Artemis, the company.
your mom is President Stylo?
Yeah, President Stylo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Levi, you approach a juncture, 3 different directions to go, and you find yourself a little unsure, given the damaged areas, which way you might go. And you also all sort of hear, the way that you said that these air ducts reverberate sounds, you hear, as you're going, you continue to hear the bing, 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 bing. You also hear the occasional
Life support. 45 minutes remaining.
numbers going down way faster than it should. And then you hear, Chad, the same help that you heard about a quarter mile back. Just
Help! Help!
So, anyways, yeah, my mom's president.
Finn, was that you? You all right back there?
No, it's not me. It's someone else.
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear that?
The
person yelling help?
Oh yeah, Chad heard.
So I didn't make that up?
No, yeah,
No, that's real. That's happening.
yeah. I wasn't trying to pretend.
Listen, we can go back for him, but 45 minutes left. We gotta get the fuel first. We gotta
Yeah.
think of the most number of people in the situation. So we gotta get fuel first. Get to the ship. Once we're in the ship, everything's fine.
Okay, yeah, I'll let him
we-
know. Hey,
You think?
hey, we're gonna get the fuel first, and then we're gonna come back for you.
Help!
Yeah, after the fuel guy, after the fuel. This is your admiral.
Thank you, Admiral. Levi.
you're welcome.
Where are we? Which way?
I'm not gonna lie to you, between Chad's stories and that screaming, I'm a little turned around. I think there's a way out of the air duct just around to the left here, and I think we should go back down and reorient ourselves.
What's wrong with my stories?
Oh, it just, the way you talk about your mom's a little, it's interesting. I've never met someone who does that the way you do that.
Let me just be clear. Like, my last name is my dad's last name, but my mom's last name is Grayson.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wait, your mom? Grayson's your mom?
yeah.
Holy shit. And Levi just fully goes into her own world for a minute.
Hey,
Levi?
Levi.
Levi.
Hey, hey.
Levi, you gotta
Huh?
focus.
Hey,
You
whoa.
simply must focus.
Oh,
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
let's go
man.
reorient.
this guy's
Just
getting on my nerves.
do the reorientation.
Okay, so she's gonna open up one of the vents and see if she can reorient herself.
great.
That's 1 1 and 3 6s.
Finally, we're getting some sixes.
There we go. Okay, great. Where do you lead everyone out of the vents into?
Levi pops open the vent and jumps down into the room without really necessarily looking around or paying any attention to whatever, and realizes that they are in a medical supply closet. So relatively small, but it is in an area that she knows is not super close to where she thinks the damaged areas are, but has gotten us sort of diagonally closer
Okay, great.
to the supply room.
Drop down into the supply closet. Chad and Finn, you're moving out after Levi.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chad, as you're moving, you sort of come to this juncture with the drop down, and you keep hearing that occasional.
Help! Help!
And then as you're about to drop down, you sort of look out into the darkness, and you swear for a split second you see a man's face lock eyes with you and just go,
Help!
and then you drop down.
Oh, no.
You good, Admiral?
Yeah.
All right, just keep it
Nothing
going.
spooky up there.
Or is it the needles? They freaking you out?
Yeah, not a space needle kind of
Levi,
guy.
where are we?
Not a space needle.
Oh, we're actually in a room that I don't gonna spend a lot of time in, but it's a medical supply closet, and there's
Great. You said you had shortcuts, so where's the next shortcut?
okay. So from here, to be honest, I think it's just we're gonna come out into this hall, and we're gonna go down past 2 junctions and then turn to the right, and then I think we should be close to there. But honestly, at this point, I think running through the halls is just gonna get us there faster.
All right, are we avoiding the depressurized spots? Do you know?
Yes, I believe for the most part we're avoiding the spots that are like full breach, but I don't know what sort of cracks have happened since
Okay,
then.
then let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, you want me to lead?
Yeah. You know this place better than us.
Oh,
I usually just stay around the ship, so I don't know the whole area that
yeah.
well.
No, I can do it. Cool. Okay, got it.
Levi, you touch the door out of here, ice cold. And when you go to hit the release button initially, it like gives you like a
So
What's that noise mean?
It's depressurized.
yeah,
What is that? I mean, I know what that is,
We
but just
gotta
I
get
mean-
suits. We gotta get suits.
this new hallway, another hallway has been
All right.
affected.
I know where suits are, and on the fucking other side of the station. Does the medical bay keep suits?
can we check?
we can find out. Yeah.
Yeah, can I look around?
Yeah. Look around, Finn.
Oh, a lot of ones. Oh Jesus! I'm gonna burn a thing to save some ones because there's like 4 ones here.
oh, woof.
I did get a 6 though.
Nice.
Okay, great. So, what are you using?
I have my moment.
So you can't actually use your moment in that way.
Oh, I have to have the thing.
You have to have your trait active. So your moment gets active when the thing happens, and then you roll, and if you're successful, you get a hope die.
Okay.
So
So then we're losing 4.
and your
ones.
moment again is
is I will find hope when I can see the ship.
I mean, we could do something a little cute.
I don't think I'm seeing the ship yet.
Okay.
But we got 1-6.
So you tell me, what do you find?
I look around through the medical bay and I go into one of the closets and there are some suits. They're not suits you wear when you're like going out for a long time. These are like emergency 30-minute air supply type things. So I pull them out and start passing them out. All right, everybody, strap them on. Let's just get going.
Chad's put his on backwards.
Chad, you got it. You gotta be kidding.
Chad.
So no, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Totally.
And I just look up and I point to the ceiling as it reads out how much time is left.
Life support.
Sorry.
38 minutes
Sorry.
remaining.
Yeah.
Feel like
yeah,
the time?
Thank you, robot.
Feel like the time?
Thank you,
Not the
robot.
time.
Sorry. Yeah, not the time for jokes, Chad.
yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
Help.
Is that the robot?
Help.
Robot?
Help. Help. Help.
Wait, stop.
Help.
Who's
Robot.
saying
It's
that?
coming from the vents in a very echoey, tinny way.
Oh no! Close the vent. Close the vent.
Listen, we're coming.
I'm closing the vent.
We
Help.
close the vent. Close the vent.
Help.
Closing the vent. Chad's closing the vent.
We're coming. There's a
You
breach
guys-
out here.
after
You
the
don't want to
fuel.
come
We
this
said
way.
after
your
the
suits-
fuel.
You have your suits on? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'm good.
After the fuel.
Levi's gonna put her suit on and just open the door.
Okay, great. Levi, you put the suit on. You override the warning of the door. Even through these suits, because they're meant for shorter walks, you feel that. You guys have done spacewalks before at various points in your careers, when you first arrived, things like that. It's cold on the moon, right? Always. It's cold now. No sunlight is reaching the surface of the moon. You know, you got used to this idea of like the dark side of the moon. It was dark for a while, but you always got a little bit of sunlight. This is just that ice cold to your bones as soon as you're outside. And you find yourself in a hallway of Artemis with like a corner of it just has a big hole. Seems like something hit it or, something exploded out. It's kind of hard to tell. And you sort of see in this area, there's like one little red light that is giving you a very like dull picture of this hallway. As you're in the spacesuits, you have this chill to your bones, and you enter into this long, probably like 100-yard move through this hallway. And you see that like as you look out, there are like the occasional body. You can't really see the details of them, but this is sort of the first sign of death that you've seen since beginning your journey out today.
Can I roll what would be kind of like a perception check to see if something exploded out or exploded in?
I think without even having to roll, you can get the gist that it exploded in here.
Okay.
Oh no.
Who blew up? Who did?
All right, I think we gotta get back over to the.
Also, you guys are now communicating via like shortwave radio through the suits. So you can still communicate, but it's like coming
Right.
through in that way.
We gotta get going. That way. And Levi's gonna
Over. You gotta say over.
fully just. She's not gonna. Just fully start sprinting, trying very actively to block out looking at anything.
Interesting. Why don't we have you roll to avoid looking at... What was the name of Levi's closest coworker on the ship, you think?
Levi's closest coworker was absolutely the lunch lady.
Lunch lady?
And
What was her name?
her name was Bagatha.
Goddamn. All right. So you are trying to move through without catching your eye on anything too upsetting.
Okay.
And there are only 3 dice
Oh
in
my
there.
God.
Fucked.
Whew. That's a 1, a 4, and a 6.
Hold on to this one.
I didn't get any 6s, so yeah, you tell me. How do you keep yourself sane moving through this hallway that's kind of has dead bodies in it? You got enough of an initial glance, but how do you keep from looking right at them?
Levi somehow avoided the physical training that is mandatory of all the crew. So she's pretty frail and not really in great shape. And so she knows that her life really depends on getting from point A to B, and that she doesn't want to acknowledge or accept what is around her. And so she is putting all of her mental effort into thinking about like her running form, and your hands are doing this and your arms are, feeling the muscles in her arms, feeling the muscles in her legs, all of that.
You power through, focusing on your movements, ignoring the shadows at the peripheral vision as you move through, ignoring the cold that is just getting deeper and deeper into your bones. As you move through the hallway, at a certain point, you just get, whether it's a memory, and you're just thinking about her, thinking about Bagatha, you just hear kind of a memory of her saying,
Second helping of taters?
and that just like kind of lingers in your ears. You think you probably imagined it, but you move through fine. You don't get too spooked. How about you guys?
Chad is looking for like a weapon or something.
A weapon.
Yeah.
All right.
He's probably not going to find one.
I can't do the odds math. You got a chance.
1 and 6.
Oh, I got a 6.
That's a 2 and a 3.
Ooh.
But not a 1.
But that is the end of this scene. So as Chad leans down to kind of look for a weapon, like you go for one of the bodies that looks like it might have been some sort of security, I guess. It is not really a big thing up here, but maybe when things started to go south, they went for it. And as you reach down to like grab the sort of maybe like electric baton is what they'd have, because guns would depressurize a space station. You reach to grab off this guy's hip, and his hand just grabs you on the wrist, and you just like jet black eyes in his body lock with you, and you just hear that get increasingly loud in your in the shortwave radio in your headphones, and then the scene ends. These things are true. The world is dark. Hey there, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this preview of our Halloween special for our patrons over in the Dice Pool, 10 Candles in Space. If you feel like supporting the show and getting the rest of this story, head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod. It's the best way to help us continue to make this show, and you get great actual play content like this here episode of 10 Candles in Space. So check out the Dice Pool, jump on in, the water is warm. See you over there. Happy Halloween.